Welcome, listeners, to this exciting sixth episode of Decoding the Profiles in Power, brought to you by West Ferry Times. Today, we're diving into the life of a truly remarkable figure who's become one of the most well-known politicians of his generation.
And that's right, today's episode focuses on Sadiq Khan, the current mayor of London, whose rise from humble beginnings to the helm of one of the world's most iconic cities is nothing short of inspiring. It's a journey of ambition, resilience, and unexpected twists.
Exactly, Alex. Khan's story is a powerful testament to the idea that no matter where you start, with hard work and determination, you can reach the highest echelons of society. He's faced challenges, criticism, and even personal loss, but still his passion for public service remains unshaken.
Oh, it's truly remarkable. He grew up in South London with a background that could have made his journey all the more difficult. But instead, he used his roots as fuel for his success. From a working-class family of Pakistani immigrants to leading a global city, his journey is incredible.
And it's not just about overcoming adversity. Sadiq Khan has continuously fought for diversity, fairness, and social justice throughout his career. His time as mayor has seen him tackle tough issues such as affordable housing, climate change, and the ongoing challenge of inequality in the city.
So join us as we peel back the layers and uncover the life, career, and legacy of Sadiq Khan, one of Britain's most influential political leaders today. Ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's get started with his early years, where his journey all began.
Sadiq Khan was born in 1970 in Tooting, South London, to Pakistani immigrant parents who had settled in the UK in the 1960s. His father, a bus driver, worked long hours to support his family, while his mother was a seamstress. Their modest lifestyle in a working-class area shaped Khan's perspective on life and what he wanted to achieve.
Imagine growing up in a multicultural neighborhood where you weren't always seen as a part of the mainstream. Khan faced racism early on, which was tough, but it also ignited a fire in him to prove his worth. He wasn't just determined to succeed. He wanted to create a society where others could succeed too.
It's amazing when you think about it. Even from a young age, he wasn't deterred by the challenges around him. Khan's resilience in the face of adversity was evident in everything he did. In school, he excelled academically, especially in the subjects of history and politics.
Ah, yes, the spark for his future career was certainly there. Khan attended the University of College London, UCL, where he studied law. It was here that he became involved in student politics, and through his leadership, he began to shape his views on social justice, equality, and the importance of giving back to the community.
What's really interesting is that Khan's choice of law as a career didn't just come from a desire to make money. No, it was much more about serving others. After finishing his law degree, he became a solicitor, and his early work in human rights laid the foundation for his later political career.
It wasn't long before Khan entered the world of politics. He became involved in local Labour Party activities and rose through the ranks, showing his dedication to public service and his passion for making a difference. But of course, no one knew then just how far his influence would go.
Sadiq Khan's political journey officially began in 2005, when he was elected as the Member of Parliament, MP, for Tooting. His victory was significant, not only because it was a triumph for the Labour Party, but because it was a victory for the community he had grown up in.
He quickly made a name for himself in Parliament, tackling issues like housing, equality, and civil liberties. His commitment to social justice was clear, and he didn't shy away from addressing the tough questions. Khan was no stranger to the front lines of political debate, and people started to take notice.
That's right. By 2008, he was appointed Minister for Communities and Local Government, making him the first British Muslim to serve as a government minister. This was a huge milestone not just for Khan but for British politics as a whole. It showed that diversity was beginning to be seen as a strength, rather than a barrier.
It wasn't all smooth sailing, of course. Khan faced his fair share of criticisms, especially around issues of extremism and security. But instead of backing down, he kept pushing for a more inclusive society, determined to use his position to challenge misconceptions and break down barriers.
By 2015, Khan had a reputation as one of the most promising figures in British politics. He was widely respected within the Labour Party, and as the Labour candidate for Mayor of London, he quickly became the frontrunner. His campaign was built on inclusivity, tackling housing shortages, and improving the lives of ordinary Londoners.
Khan's leadership skills were on full display during the campaign. He was calm, calculated, and able to bring people together, despite the challenges. His victory in 2016, becoming the first Muslim mayor of London, marked a defining moment in British politics. But it was just the beginning.
Once elected mayor of London, Sadiq Khan immediately set to work tackling the issues that mattered most to Londoners. One of his earliest priorities was affordable housing. He made it clear that he intended to build more affordable homes and tackle the city's growing housing crisis.
Oh, the housing crisis in London, what a challenge. Khan's approach has been multifaceted. From setting up affordable housing schemes to securing government funding, he's been working tirelessly to make sure that Londoners, especially younger generations, aren't priced out of the city.
Another major priority was transport. Khan's policies focused on making public transport more affordable, especially after the controversial fare hikes by the previous mayor. He worked hard to freeze transport fares and improve services. For Londoners, that was a huge win.
Indeed, and let's not forget his focus on clean energy and climate change. Khan has made tackling air pollution one of his top priorities. He's pushed for greener public transport, cleaner air, and a greater focus on sustainability in urban planning.
But of course, being mayor of London isn't just about policy, it's about the relationships you build. Khan has also taken a strong stance on London's diversity, using his platform to promote unity and fight discrimination in all its forms.
It's a big city, and a diverse one at that. Khan's efforts to unite Londoners have been focused on promoting respect and cooperation between the city's various communities, including those with different faiths, ethnic backgrounds, and cultures.
But of course, being a leader like Khan comes with its challenges and controversies. He hasn't been immune to criticism, especially from those who disagree with his policies on housing and policing. For example, there were concerns about the impact of his housing policies on developers and local councils.
Yes, and let's not forget the security challenges he faced. London, like many major cities, has been targeted by terrorists. Khan was often under fire for his handling of security, particularly in the wake of terrorist attacks during his tenure. He's had to walk a fine line between safety and civil liberties.
Oh, and of course, his critics have often called him out on his close ties to the Labour Party. Some have questioned whether his policies are too partisan or whether he's focused too much on the left-leaning agenda. But Khan has always maintained that his priority is the people of London, regardless of political affiliation.
Exactly. Khan's efforts have been met with mixed reactions, especially around his approach to policing. While some have praised his commitment to tackling crime, others feel his policies have not been aggressive enough. Crime rates, especially knife crime, have been a constant issue.
There's also been his approach to Brexit. Khan has been a vocal opponent of Brexit and has strongly advocated for London's place within the European Union. This stance has garnered both support and backlash, especially as the Brexit debate continues to divide the nation.
But in the end, Sadiq Khan's ability to maintain his focus and keep working towards his vision for London speaks volumes. He's had to make tough choices, and while not everyone agrees with him,
As with any high-profile public figure, Sadiq Khan has faced his fair share of controversies and criticisms during his time as mayor of London. While he has earned praise for many of his policies, there have also been moments where his decisions and actions have sparked debate and backlash.
yes, one of the most significant criticisms Khan has faced revolves around his handling of London's transport system, particularly the expansion of the ultra-low emission zone, or ULEZ. While the initiative was designed to reduce air pollution and improve the city's environment, many Londoners, especially in outer boroughs, have voiced their concerns about the financial burden the scheme places on them.
Exactly. The ULEZ expansion means that drivers with older, more polluting cars must pay a daily fee to drive within the zone. For people who rely on their cars for commuting, particularly in areas with limited public transport options, this can be an expensive change. Khan has defended the policy, stating that it's crucial for improving air quality and tackling the health issues associated with pollution. But not everyone agrees with him.
Some critics have argued that the policy disproportionately affects low-income Londoners, who may not be able to afford newer, cleaner vehicles. It's also worth noting that Khan's critics often argue that this policy shows a lack of understanding of everyday life for many residents. While the environmental benefits are clear, the economic impact has caused a rift in the community.
And speaking of transportation, Khan's handling of London's public transport network has also been a point of contention. His decision to reduce or cancel certain services, such as bus routes in outer London, has sparked frustration among commuters. With London's transport system already under pressure, these changes have been seen as a step backwards by many residents.
That's right. And let's not forget the challenges Khan has faced in balancing the city's budget. The financial impact of the pandemic on London's economy was severe, and despite Khan's efforts to secure government funding, he has often been criticized for the rising costs of public services and the debt incurred during his tenure. His critics argue that more could have been done to mitigate the financial strain on the city.
Of course, there have been criticisms about Khan's leadership on crime as well. London has seen a rise in violent crime in recent years, and Khan has faced blame for the perceived lack of progress in tackling these issues. His critics argue that crime has spiraled out of control and that his policies haven't been effective enough in curbing violence, particularly among young people.
There's no denying that violent crime is a serious issue for the city, and Khan's record on safety has been under scrutiny. While he's invested in programs aimed at reducing youth violence and knife crime, some argue that these measures haven't delivered the results they hoped for. The rise in violent crime has prompted Khan's opponents to question whether his approach to policing and community safety has been too lenient.
And in addition to these domestic controversies, Khan has also been criticized for his foreign policy stances, particularly his vocal opposition to certain government policies. His critics argue that his focus on national politics, particularly his criticisms of the UK government, detracts from his responsibilities as mayor of London. Some believe he should focus more on local issues and less on national or international politics.
Ah, yes, Khan's frequent public criticisms of government policies, particularly those of Prime Minister Boris Johnson, have led to tensions between him and the central government. While Khan has championed policies that he believes are in the best interests of London, such as his stance on climate change and his opposition to austerity measures, critics argue that his political positioning has sometimes undermined his effectiveness as mayor.
Indeed, there's always a balancing act for politicians in positions of power. Khan has had to navigate the delicate line between championing his city's interests and engaging in the national political debate. His outspoken nature has made him a powerful voice for London, but it has also led to political tension with some of his counterparts.
And let's not forget the controversies surrounding his stance on terrorism and counter-extremism. Khan, being a Muslim, has faced intense scrutiny when it comes to issues of national security. Some of his critics have used his background against him, accusing him of being soft on extremism or not doing enough to tackle terrorism. Khan has firmly rejected these accusations, repeatedly stating that his commitment to safety and security is unwavering, and he's worked closely with law enforcement agencies to combat terrorism.
Ah, yes, that's an important point. Khan has had to constantly address such criticisms, particularly in the wake of terrorist attacks that have shaken London. While his leadership has been praised for the way he's handled these tragedies with calm and unity, his critics continue to challenge him on whether he's doing enough to prevent future attacks.
Despite all of this, Khan has continued to be resilient, standing firm on the principles he believes in. While he's certainly faced backlash, especially from political opponents, his ability to weather these storms and continue pushing for his vision for London is part of what makes him such a notable figure. He doesn't shy away from criticism. Rather, he uses it to fuel his drive for change.
That's right. Khan's controversies and criticisms are part of the larger story of his leadership, showing the complexity of running a major city like London. He has certainly faced his fair share of challenges, but how he responds to those challenges is a testament to his resolve and his commitment to making London a better place for everyone. His leadership has undeniably shaped the city.
As we look at Sadiq Khan's legacy, there's no doubt that he's left an indelible mark on London. From his work on affordable housing to his efforts in tackling air pollution, Khan's policies have had a profound impact on the city. His leadership has shaped the future of London in ways that will be felt for generations to come.
Khan's story is one of ambition and resilience, proving that no matter your background, with enough determination you can rise to the top. His ability to address the challenges of one of the most diverse cities in the world has been nothing short of impressive.
Yes, and while his time as mayor hasn't been without controversy, it's clear that Khan's approach to leadership, focused on inclusivity, fairness, and social justice, has resonated with many Londoners.
Absolutely. Whether you agree with all of his policies or not, there's no denying that Sadiq Khan's impact on London and British politics will be felt for years to come. He has truly redefined what it means to lead a global city.
So, with that, we conclude today's deep dive into the life and career of Sadiq Khan. We hope you've gained a new perspective on this influential figure. Thanks for listening, and make sure to tune in next time for more stories from Decoding the Profiles in Power.
Take care, everyone, and as always, stay curious about the world around you. We'll see you in the next episode. Keep questioning and keep exploring.